Video number 2. I said a lot of unacceptable things. So I deleted the video. I didn't delete the video, I cut it. 5 minutes. No, they won't delete it, but I just don't want to add it when I talk about Adolf Hitler. So I just returned back when I was showing the tower. Cut it. Okay, let me say something to you here. Emptiness. Because I checked the first half of the cemetery, the bark, and no one is there. Okay. Adolf Hitler, he would say if he lived again, I am the most stupid person in the 20th century. And he would say the biggest mistake that I committed is exaggerating and prosecuting the Jews who rejected my points. Not my point, my work, my concept, my party, me as a Führer. Now, how, and let's jump to this. How come those alliance, they call it the alliance? I'm talking about England, France, the United States of America, the bankers, the family called Rothschild, and there is a small duty that they and no, Russia is different. Russia is different. How they were pursuing the goal of taking the Jews, what is the word, to the Holy Land. Okay, with Adolf Hitler, with the Nazis. I mean, how come the Nazis and the alliance, how come what do you call them? This cover the country alliance. No, I forget how. Alliance. With the Nazi, the German Nazi, they both were pursuing the goal of taking, replace the Jews from Germany and the territories under the Nazis, which is almost all Europe, to the Holy Land. How both? Now, how did they convince Adolf Hitler that the Jews are a threat? Okay, there was a bad Jews, that's for sure. I'm talking about rich man, businessman, looking down to the normal Germans, even looking down to the normal German women, using them for prostitution and things, and work in a way that they wouldn't allow it to happen to any other Jewish. They wouldn't, because of their faith. But you can find this in even so many conservative so-called Christian families, whatever. It doesn't mean that all Jews are bad, especially in Germany, understanding the so-called Christian mentality. So it was a wave of the word anti-Semitism is not there, but what is different? The difference is that there is devil, there is Satan. Satan is there. Okay, Satan is there. And Adolf Hitler once said, I saw the devil and he scared me. I gave him a look. Gaza, shaitan. So he gave him a look. It's good to cover the places when people are sleeping. So, this is the other side of the bark. Wow. Sleep, yes. Nice. Lovely. Don't walk at night. It's a full moon. So Adolf Hitler, that's a nice spot to use for some certain reasons. Yes. And let me continue. So, the point I'm trying to say, the devil is behind some certain projects. Okay? Now, Allah is allowing it, and Allah knows how it works. I'm talking about the God Almighty. Britain is colonizing the area. France is colonizing the area. America, after World War One, there is an alliance. Banks, money, finance, economy. America is a child of Britain. There is a lot of connection. Look at war in Iraq. Till the war in Iraq. Could you believe this? Even Bush Jr. remembered the war in World War II, and it was in a way or another similar. From their side, not from Saddam Hussein. The alliance and thing with the Jews, and for this satanic reason of war, the so-called Israeli state, the colonizing power was dealing with Islam. That's it. Dealing with Islam as a big, huge threat. Now they have embraced, hugged, accepted the satanic cross, which was imposed on them by the sword of Romans, by force, so-called Christian. This is early before. I have no need to repeat what I have explained. And that's why there was a crusade. They call it in Arabic, it's called Hurub al-Istirdad, getting it back wars. The wars for getting back. But the Holy Land was never theirs. But from their mentality in mind, they just, because they are kafir, I do not want to use this, because they are kafir and cursed and hellfire, and they are Satan slaves with their elite, with their public, with everything, except those, that's it. Yeah, I mean, look at the time of the Roman when they have persecuted the real Christian at the beginning. Until World War I and World War II, until so many Germans have also accepted the Nazi principles. There is a lot of women, Jewish women, who were brought and executed in a horrible way. They asked them to take their clothes and execute them. The Russians, when they come to Germany, they did. You can absolutely 100% more than 1 million rape, if not million cases of rape. Horrible. How come Adolf Hitler gave an instruction to take a group of women and execute them in a horrible way with their children? This is horrible. The so-called Christian with each other. Now, I don't want any Jew to come and say, yeah, this is fuck you. Shut up, fucker. This is what happened in Europe. England wanted to make sure that after the Uthmanic Khilafah, with the power of the so-called Christian, with what is a result of Rome since that time, with the طاغوت القرين, definitely 100% وجد ظلته بالروم. Satan found what he is seeking in Roma. Allah Akbar. Yes. Shaitan. And also he found what he is seeking for in many things in the east and the west of this planet. But he definitely found what he's seeking for in Rome. And until now these qarins are working. With the qarins of the taghutic power. I do not need to talk about it. Let's not make it religious. So there is a threat. Those who are holding a Bible, they consider Islam. They feel it deep inside that Islam is danger. We're not talking about the terrorists doing Trump. We're not talking about some stupid Muslim who are very extreme, We're not talking about some bad Muslim who did bad things like the Muslim who did to me. Yeah, there is. No, Islam is a threat with all what comes with it. Islam is, for them, is from the dark, from the devil. It's the other way around. So, how can they need to put something, there is a chance in the Holy Land. Now this here, you can understand the anti-Zionist, some of them want not to revenge, want to push back and want to revenge and want to be victorious against all those who are supporting the so-called Israeli state. I'm going to explain. So these powers, into its ideology, the government in colonizing ideology, colonizing places and areas within the Arabic Muslim world, and there is resistance, Islam will rise again. These people, the Quran, the Hadith, it's not like China, no more so-called Buddha. It's not like India, so-called Hindus. The most biggest resistance that the colonizing power have dealt with is by the Muslims. No, don't argue, go and study things. Either in Morocco, either in Algeria, either in Libya, either in Egypt, either in Syria, either in Iraq, either the Muslims in India. And it's successful. Islam is founded until now. Islam in Egypt, after colonizing the area, in Algeria, the Muslim sheikhs in Islam, how it's embarrassing, how the people embarrassing, not embarrassed, I'm shy, embrace, hold or take or accept. Anyway, so the point here is imagine if this park is mine, all of it. The resident. I sell it and I go to other country. No, if I own it, I don't want to sell it. Let's say I'm a big rich man. This is all mine. Okay? In Jannah, inshallah, in heaven. Better. And there is wall here. And there is a big mansion here. Okay? I don't want to go تحت السرة. I don't want to go below the belly. تحت السرة. I didn't trust. I was going to mention something inside my property, so that I would enjoy it now. No, nothing. I'm sorry. Don't mean anything. Maybe $6 or something. Because there is children, I need to. But I have money to have children. Yeah. Maybe female. They don't bring. No, astaghfirullah. I'm just now I'm taking it so far. So forgive me. Stop. I told you that I saw. A'udhu billah. I thought it's a woman, but she's a female. Astaghfirullah. Let's return back to the main topic, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm straight, not bubbly, and I'm virgin until now. Both ways, backing up. I don't know. It's a strange thing. So let's return back and focus on the words of wisdom. So it is a must. Establish something in the Middle East. Establish something that the Turks are weak. It is a perfect. Again, Satan is there. That's it. Tell him he owns people's minds if they allow it. Send them to the Holy Land. Send them since after Herzl, the one who raped his daughters and they commit suicide. No, I don't want to talk about that. I'm talking even before the World War I. Send the Jews there, yes. Yeah, they can go and settle there. I see the Jews from Turkey can easily settle in Palestine. Send them there, yes. Within World War I, even World War II, send the Jews there. There is no more Islamic Khilafah. The colonized, but we're still there. Who was resisting? Who was the biggest resistance to this? Muslims? No. Why did you mean? Because Muslim resistance is nothing in comparison to the resistance of so many Jews among the community of the Jewish community in Europe, especially in Germany. The resistance was there. Hakam screaming, Hakam, saying, we are German, we are from Germany. Why do we need to go to the Holy Land? People who knows that their ancestor graves is in Germany or in Europe. Why do they need to live in their village, in their city? They are part of Berlin, they are part of Germany. I'm not going to the Holy Land. I go visit. And first, and before everything, they don't belong to Middle East. They are part of Europe. This is their race. And they are European Gohem Jews. That's it. And they use sometimes to preach for Judea, yes? And people accepting Judea marriages and things like that. But it will need a lot of details to provide. So the biggest resistance is not Muslims. No, the biggest threatening, I'm talking about the resistance that is threatening the satanic mind behind the project of so-called Israel in Europe, in the West. Who's the big threat? It's not the Muslims. They are under colonizing power. There is a lot of promises from the British government to Arabs. There is a lot of Jews going and settling in the Holy Land. Muslims didn't look at that as a threat. So many so-called Christians came and settled in Egypt, settled in Syria, Iraq. So the colonizing power at the beginning, now of course it's Muslim. After World War II, Islam starts rising, and the first Muslim resistance started with what's his name? Who's the Brotherhood movement? Al-Ikhwan. يا الله الزيات لا شو اسمه مش كشك ولا سيد قطب شو اسمه what's his name, the establisher of the brotherhood of the Islamic Brotherhood at the beginning of the previous century, was killed by the British intelligence in Egypt, شو اسمه, and some Egyptian cooperator, forget his name, مؤسس حركة الإخوان المسلمين. This is the beginning of it. This is the beginning in the 20th century. In the 20th century. But even at the 19th century, those who are saying no Jews will go and settle in the Holy Land. German Jews belong to Germany. This is the threat of this European satanic project. You understand me? I didn't need to explain more. It's easy for you. Not the Muslims, because Muslims are not aware of it 100%. Muslims used to have a problem with the Ottoman racist empire, which used to be called Khilafat. خوازيق, bullsticks, اللي على راسه ريشة. التركي على يعني it's a say even. They used to say it على راسك ريشة, which means that something that the Turk lieutenant and captain used to put it in their head, which means if على راسك ريشة, no one can argue with you. It is about, he's a Turkish, he's above you as an Arab or Arabic mother tongue speaker or Berber or whatever, or black or whatever. That's why there is historical statement from so many Arabic leaders, those from so many Middle Eastern against the Ottoman Empire, because it's no longer Islamic, dealing with people in a different. And the Turks adopted the nationalist mentality from Europe, and the torturing ways they used to torture people from Europe, Vlad III, and that's the fact. There is darkness in China and all parts of the world, in Russia and India, but the darkness came from Europe is unbelievable because وجد ظلته بالروم, Moscow as well, and things like that. Even Russia, I don't want it. Well, all human have some dark side in it. So these German leaders was honestly a horrible, painful threat to those. And I'm not saying that there was no Jews with the so-called Zionist movement. Yes, there was. There was a lot of, but there is a lot of Jews who said, no, we melt with our society. We try to adjust in World War. Now, what do I mean by Adolf Hitler exaggerating? because there was a lot of message and rumors and intelligence by rumors and even with evidence by American and British. Like for example, if you consider those who are enemy to Adolf Hitler, except I'm not talking about Russia, like American, Britain and France, saying that, and the German Nazi intelligence is aware of it, the following, which is those who want to defeat the Nazis are saying we should depend on Jews. Jews are the most trusted people into Germany to be spying. You understand me? To spy against the Nazis. There was a lot of rumors, I think. And they arrested some Jews, who were absolutely against this war. Hey, we lost World War One. There is Jews in France. We are part of the Jewish community. We have relationship until all parts, even to France, Poland, whatever, Jews. There is no need for Irish race, rubbish like that. We're Jews, and you are basically Christians. There is no difference between an European and an European or other races. Things like this have started to be received by the German leader. Yes! And now the problem is that this person at the end become addicted things, and it was a dictatorship. And people start dealing with him as God. And so many poets and things like that. Horrible. I don't need to talk about it again. I've explained. And you can go and make a... Now the problem is that the Jews, they can return back to history. And they have documents that prove that there was a lot of Jews anti-so-called Zionist. Like those anti-Zionist Jews, those who call themselves since that time. But they will never mention this. There was a lot of Jews saying we are against any deportation for us to the Holy Land, and we settle here. And we have a problem with why Fehrer? He's our consulate, Mustashar. Why Fehrer? What do you mean by Fehrer? We are Jewish German. All of these people, there is general who are from the Jewish background, but they are fine with Adolf Hitler. And there is Jews from Germany who were absolutely with taking them and putting them in the Holy Land. But there is a lot of people who they represent righteousness, and they rejected all this rubbish, and they knew it since the beginning. This is a horrible satanic war. For what reason you want to call yourself a Führer, Irish, and even the cross, you played with it and make it in a horrible cross. Look at the cross. You're Catholic. We used to live with the Catholic long time, as Jews, since we embraced or accepted Judah, and so many accepted Judaism. And then we have a good relationship with bishops. You cannot find a bishop screaming, saying, we don't want Jews in Germany. No. There was a Jewish synagogue and a church. And people used to deal with each other normally. We used all to wear the cloth of the German. This cloth, which you can see it from time to time. What do you call it? The kabba. The kabba, which is the hat. It's a Roman. This is a Roman hat. So there is a lot of people who are saying, what is this? For what reason you want to invade all over the world, and you rule all of the world? And so he started targeting these. He started targeting them. I'm talking about the German intelligence. Start to target them. And the material that he received, material I'm talking about, the information that his intelligence receives is the following. You are not going to achieve your goal except if you get rid of the Jews. There is a message that he received, Adolf Hitler, as a result of the experience of colonizing power. Adolf Hitler, Führer, you are going, and this is what we received from America. The France and the German consider Arabs, Muslims, a horrible threat to Europe. And you are going to be the only leader of Europe. Okay? For 1,000 years, your name will look rubbish. And before, it's like almost building Mercedes. How Mercedes is gonna work if it's hot weather, cold weather. I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say. For us to control the Arabic world, it would be better for us. He was convinced it is better for us to put the Jews in the Holy Land and make them a creator of chaos, even to the Muslim and Arab. He received this. Do you understand the point of view? So Adolf Hitler, at the end, either persecuting the Jews, sending a message that and taking women and killing them. There is videos. I'm not talking about thing eyewitness. Videos, women are brought nude and executed. The Americans celebrated. The Jewish Americans celebrated. The Nazi leader is killing the Jewish people. This is a new footage. No, this is not like walking in the moon. This is real footage. Look, the German Nazis are doing this to the Jews. And all Jewish community in all Europe starts hallucinating. Every single person of them want what? Either to go to the Allies territory and leave the Nazi territory, or leave the territory that could be part of Nazi, or immediately to the Holy Land. To the Holy Land. The British army is colonizing the Holy Land. Do you see the point? Do you get the point here? So the devil was monitoring this war. I'm talking seriously, even if you're an atheist, this is your problem. He was monitoring this war to take the Goyim Jews and put them in the Holy Land. The Americans, British, Rothschild were behind through the intelligent power to seduce the German to consider the Jews a horrible threat. There was a lot of hachams and leaders who used to talk, arrested for no reason. You are a relative of that so-and-so, okay? So what? He is in France, or he is whatever, or he is with the Allies, or he fled to England, or whatever. Look at this, what do you call him? Einstein. And he is, okay, so what if I am a relative to that person? I'm a German, and I'm from Germany. You have this point, that you're against the Führer, you are against the Reich, said because it's not going to bring good to Germany. There is even, I'm just telling you, there is even so-called Christian Germans, or people with a so-called Christian background, who start talking within the German public, saying this guy is not working for our interest. Adolf Hitler, he is not working for the interests of Germany. Yes, at the beginning there was a lot of good work of the party, but now wars, a Führer and a Reich, doing this to the Jews. I'm not a Jew, but I'm just telling you, and going all sides in war. What? For what reason? I mean, we have a Christian background. Good what you did. Maybe some part of Europe taking it back should be part of Germany, and try to make a peace treaty. What are you doing, Adolf? So it's not only the Jews, but when they arrested a lot of Jews, Chachams as well, but they will never mention their names to you. They will never. All the so-called Zionists, the European media will never mention a story of a brave Jewish Chacham, or a good Jewish man, or a family woman who is saying, no, we are German. I am against establishing any so-called Israeli state, or whatever. I'm against taking us and deporting us to the Holy Land. We don't belong to the Holy Land. There is among them, and there is document proving this. They don't mention them. Like if all Jews are all of a sudden Adolf Hitler without any reason, I want to kill the Jews. Kill the Jews. Yeah. Kill the Jews, because Jews are not going to work for us. They're conservative. Well, you all the so-called Christian become the way I want. Even the Catholic Pope, the way they change things, Catholicism, all work for me. They will say to you, there was no Jewish person worked with Adolf Hitler. No, all Jews said, no, we're against the Nazis. And there was never a Jew saying we are against establishing a so-called Israeli state. We're against what's called the Zionists. We are German. No one. They all said, oh, yes, we're returning back to the Holy Land. Then if Adolf Hitler don't want us. And Adolf Hitler become crazy and insane. Kill the Jews, kill the Jews, kill the Jews, kill the Jews. And all the Jews were persecuted in Europe. This is what they... What about the brave men among the Jewish community who since the beginning said, this is not going to help Germany. This is rubbish. We are not from Palestine. We belong to Europe. It's good what you did in the project. Why you're into the economy? They never mentioned it. Yeah, they're dead in the jails. They were hanged. They were tortured and died. They were assassinated. No one talk about them. No one. Yeah, their memory is lost, and their names are written as anti-Semite victims. That's it. End of the story. Now, those who call themselves anti-Zionist Jew right now, if you understand, you don't say self-hated Jew, a Jew hating himself. No, if you look into what happened in Germany, from the point of view of some of them, the elite or big, you will understand they just want to revenge from this satanic project who attacked Germany and created Adolf Hitler, or created what Adolf Hitler did at the end, and establishing why. Why? Because it's provocative what the devil did. It's provocative. So if either you are with it or against it, that's why they're against it. You understand me? So I don't know. It's a principle. I don't know how to. It's a principle. Like if someone is behind persecuting your grandfather, or for whatever. Look at the Jews. There is Jews who know a relative family at that time who were executed by the Nazis. And this was celebrated by the Allies. You know, it was. They used it. Like, for example, but it's different. It's absolutely... But I'm just giving example. Saddam Hussein entering Kuwait. Now, I'm not saying wrong or right. But do you think that America said, ooh, why? No, they celebrated what Saddam did in Kuwait. Yeah. Oh, everyone is against him. Gulf state. Yeah, why? Kuwait is an independent state since thousand years, even before Adam. It's called Kuwait. And Saddam Hussein, you understand me? And everyone is screaming, Kuwait is independent. Yeah. No, I'm not saying wrong or right. I'm just explaining to you. There is no comparison between Adolf Hitler and Saddam Hussein. Absolutely no comparison. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just no comparison. Adolf Hitler is in a horrible, sick location. Yeah, sickness, dark location. So there is a lot of Jews who knew that some family of them were killed, persecuted, and when they see the big picture, they see a so-called Zionist movement convincing the Nazis to do what they did. They see a lot of Holocaust and things like that, and they knew that this project is. If there was no project, there will be a lot of Jews who would be saved. Families. Adolf Hitler wouldn't need to take some women and take their clothes. I'm talking about literally thousands. Of course, there was also so-called Christian women. It's wars, horrible, and rape and problem in Eastern Europe by the Russians and by the Germans. Horrible, and children bombed. But why? You're dealing with only women, for God's sake. Why do you need to take picture of these women? Then this happened. Yeah, the graves, and they found their graves, and once a week you hear about a group of women taken nude. They are from Jewish community, starting from Germany, with their children. Why? But what is like Syrian regime is doing to people? But what do he need? Why he need to do it? Jewish people normally, women are just quiet. The Jewish people, especially because they are a minority, even if they're conservative. There is even pictures for Jews doing like this, for Hitler giving him. So it's provocative. All this satanic project, I'm not part of it. There is a very important known anti-Zionist Hakam who Al Jazeera heard him. The Muslim journalist said, "What about the Holocaust?" He said, "What about?" He said, "It's God's will that this would happen. I'm not gonna go and establish and say, "Khalas, this happened to us. We're gonna go prosecute the rights of the Palestinians." No, he didn't. We dealt with this. It's part of World War II. Now, in Europe, in the West, we try to fix things and make a better world for the future. That's what he said. This is crimes in the Holy Land. I don't know if I need to explain more, but this project is a horrible project, and Adolf Hitler is absolutely, if he is back in life again with a normal mind, tell us, he will say, "I was the most stupid person who ever lived in the 21st century. It's me, Adolf Hitler, because I shouldn't make that decisions in a way of stupidity." And he will add, if we say, "What is the biggest mistake?" He said, "My mistakes is exaggerating in the point of prosecuting Jews who are criticizing me." If any Jew criticize Adolf Hitler in Germany, if a Jew, for example, said, "Damn him at Hitler taking us to wars," okay? And a so-called Christian said, "Damn him Hitler taking us to Jews," the Jew is dead. Is dead. And the so-called Christian, no, they start arguing, questioning, "I didn't mean it." Why? Because the Jew his case is hopeless. He is a threat by all means. There is powers outside. The American, the English, they have Jews. There is a lot of news that the Jews are willing to rise against the Irish leader because they are more conservative and they don't want even the term "Fahur." Look at the Jews and the Fahur and Egypt. They are against us culturally and religionally by the religion. But we as so-called Christian, we have the Pope. The Pope is like Fahur at that time. He's like Fahur. That's what happened. And the devil is behind it. So Islam is an issue. For them, Islam is a problem. The word of God, renewed by Muhammad, the final messenger, is a problem to Satan's slaves. Satan's slaves, those who worship the devil. Those who worship the devil have a problem with Islam. Easy and simple. Yes, وجد ظلته بالروم. I wanted to say something, but I forget. Yes, there is a point. I didn't mention it. I'm sure. I'm outside to mention some certain things at the conclusion. And I forget the conclusion that I want to say. Really, you know my style. I forget it. I'm trying to remember. No, I didn't say it. I know what. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق من شر غاسق إذا وقب من شر النفاثات في العقد من شر حاسد إذا حسد قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس وشر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض لا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. I didn't see it. Forget. There is something I forget about Adolf Hitler and why he wanted. Okay, he took the Jews. So he wanted to finish the Jews from Europe and took them, he himself, some Nazis, even among the Jews who are no longer Jewish by faith, but they are Jewish, descended from families who are Jew, generals with the Nazi. Like that Nazi general who said, "I'm a Jew," before he was executed. I forget his name. I forget. Yeah, there is. They're hiding it. So Adolf Hitler and the Nazis, there is people among them who believe that they will win the war and they will control a big masses, lands, and even Holy Land will be, and Middle East will be under them, in North Africa, and they will inherit the colonizing power. What the colonizing power took, and then to control or to protect, to control all resistance in Middle East. You can. I mean, he would know about Umar al-Mukhtar. Do you think Adolf Hitler didn't know about Umar al-Mukhtar in Libya? Is to put Jews there, and then you deal with them. They need to accept you, just to make a mess and a problem. The Uthmanic Khilafah sort. In World War I, they were alliance to German. I forget, there was something I want to say. Yes, I forget. Huh? I didn't know, I forget. Shut. My God, I'm getting older. Oh, start forgetting things. Well, there is something I need to remember. I don't want to delete, to close. What is this? That's why I went outside the house for the conclusion. All this is the. Why did I need? Why? ليش أنا خرجت؟ Why do I need? I shouldn't record this video. كيف نسيت أنا النقطة دي؟ I forget it. والله. Anyway, satanic project. All those with this projects are in hellfire. There will be no mercy, no heaven for you. Deal with it, you fucking kafir, ملعون, cursed.